Kanye's evil. Ye's evil. Ye censorship debate. Feat Rabbi, Shmuley, and Myron Gaines.
He is not crazy. That is an excuse. He is wicked and he is evil.
Him saying that is actually protected under the First Amendment. Hate speech is protected under...
That's the point. It's not. You don't even know. You don't know enough about your own First Amendment.
I'm not saying that I support hate, but people have a right.
So if a white man walked up to you and said, "Hey, get out the way."
Oh my God, Piers Morgan has brought this guy on as the. Oh my! See, now this panel makes a lot of sense. Piers Morgan has put this together to get a bunch of like, oh, I'm gonna get black people to go represent. Yay! Like, dude, who the fuck is like? Who is this guy? Why does he need to be here? Also, like, no disrespect to Zuby. Does Zuby need to be here? Just because he's a black rapper, Piers brought him on. Like, you could see that he was crafting this panel. It should have just been Myron and Shmuley.
Someone that's literally a war criminal wanted by the ICC. And then you're over here calling for censorship. I'm tired of anti-Semitism. I'm tired of racism.
You are a Jew hater and you have a right to be a Jew hater.
Fuck your feelings, dude.
Free speech means the right to express ideas and opinions without fear of censorship or sanction. It applies equally to speech, which many consider deeply offensive. In fact, that's arguably when it's most important. Otherwise, the loudest and most powerful voices have total control over ideas, and they have the ability to crush dissent. But there are limits to free speech, even under the First Amendment. There's no First Amendment right to share child pornography, threaten individuals, or incite violence. Rapper Ye, hereafter,
Ye?
I'm going to call him Kanye West. I'm done with calling him Ye. Unleashed
wow, what a
stance. Anti-Semitic posts on X this weekend. He was misogynist, he was racist, he was frankly disgusting.
Let's go.
He talked about violence against women, he talked about violence against Jewish people and enslaving them, he talked about loving Hitler, he talked about white people and Jewish people are different and the Jews are always going to steal. Now, whether this endless vile tirade was tantamount to incitement of violence against Jewish people is, I guess, open to debate. He certainly wanted people to think very disparagingly of them, if not hate them. I would argue that identifying as a Nazi alone implies that, yeah, maybe he shares a mindset of people who literally exterminated millions of Jews. Not to mention his statement that you have to put Jews in their place and make them into your slaves, something that he then followed up with this. He said, Jews were better as slaves. You have to put Jews in their place and make them your slaves. He then said, sometimes you have to do it like the pharaohs. Make your Jews work for you, but watch them as close as you can. Whip your Jews. Whip your Jews as he treat them like slaves. What does that mean? Is that ambiguous?
Clearly a joke, Piers.
Is that freedom of speech? Or is that a clarion call to commit acts of violence against Jewish people? What seems crystal clear is that Kanye West was in clear violation of X's own rules on hateful conduct. The platform under Elon Musk has suspended more than 5 million accounts since he took over. It censored Kanye's account yesterday as not suitable for work when he posted legal pornography. And Musk has previously banned Kanye West entirely for posting a swastika interlaced with the Star of David, which he said was incitement to violence. So why was Kanye allowed to spend the whole weekend unloading shocking abuse on Jewish people before apparently leaving voluntarily? And more broadly, just what the hell is going on with this idiot? Well, joining me now to debate all this, host of the Fresh and Fit podcast, Myron Gaines, the rapper
Let's go!
America's Rabbi and author of
Boo!
Shmuley, and the commentator and YouTuber,
Who?
No Joke. Okay, let me start with you, Myron, because you and I got into a little Twitter exchange yesterday about free speech. And it seems to me, with Kanye and this tirade that went on for days, there are two debates to be had. One is whether what he was doing was contrary to X's own rules by the same definition that they have suspended millions of accounts. And I posted a graph showing why people got suspended, a lot of it for harassment, hateful conduct, and so on. So I think there's literally no dispute or doubt that he did. So the question remains, why was he then not suspended, but able to leave voluntarily? But the wider debate that I think you and I were having was about freedom of speech and where that begins and ends. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you seem to be suggesting that you don't think there is an end. In other words, you can say absolutely anything you want. To which I would say, well, I don't think you should be able to say to 32 million people on a platform that you want to...
Like, it's just super ugly, bro. Oh my God. Like, what is wrong with his skin? Like, politics aside, why does he look like that? I swear, like I said this before, but he looks like a witch, like a male witch. It's like anti-Semites pick somebody to make Jews look terrible. That's what he looks like. He looks like a caricature of Jews. That's why I'm saying, like, I like Jews. The Torah Jews, they don't get enough of a voice because, you know, they've been excommunicated. I asked the two Jews that showed up at Yeezy's at the A Grammy party, I'm like, what do you guys think about the Torah Jews that are pro-Palestine? They're like, oh yeah, we excommunicate them. And the Torah Jew that was in that video waving the Free Palestine flag, he was saying that, like, yeah, the Torah says that we can't steal, we can't murder, we're totally opposed to Israel. They don't get a good voice. They get shut out. It's people like this that run the narrative.
People your slaves and whip them. Do you?
Well, I think the thing is when Elon took over X, he wanted to mirror it with the First Amendment. And the First Amendment allows a broad range of speech to be allowed. And the reality is, if we don't have free speech, we don't have a democracy. And that's literally from Elon Musk himself. Now, we want to talk about unequal punishment on X, based on some people saying this is getting punished and people saying this and not getting punished. That's a whole other conversation. But I think if you're going to mirror the First Amendment with Twitter, then you need to allow that speech in.
Right, but look, on the first point about X's rules, he clearly transgressed pretty much every rule they have. I think that's unarguable. So it's for Elon to explain why, in the end, he was only censored, which he was, because he posted legal pornography. It seems to me extraordinary that legal pornography is deemed to be more offensive and more worthy of censorship.
Bro, I didn't even say this yet. W. Myron, of course, making it onto Piers Morgan. But when that guy came, who's Louis Theroux, to that documentary, he was playing Myron clips and making me react on his phone of Myron saying, talking about how they could I don't want to paraphrase and get clipped, but Myron was talking about porn, talking about banking, talking about feminism, talking about the isms. That's what it was. A clip about Marxism, communism, and and the guy's playing the clip, and I'm supposed to react, and I'm like, what the f*** do I? He's like, do you agree with this? What do you think about I'm like, this is a setup. This is a setup to be called anti-Semitic. It was really funny after watching all those Vice documentaries over the years and all those hit piece documentaries, to be in one. I was seeing it happen. This this is a setup to get me to condemn my friend and try to farm an anti-Semitic clip.
You should make Jews your slaves and whip them. So let me bring in on that, Zuby. You and I have debated free speech many times, but on that specific point, I mean, do you view the publication of legal pornography on X as better or worse than what he said about making Jews slaves and whipping them?
If I'm being honest, I think it's all bad. I don't think that hardcore pornography should be on X. If I'm being honest, it's not on any other social media platform. And a big reason for that is because kids use these platforms. And if you've got that many followers and you start posting pornography, then naturally you're going to get some minors seeing it. And so that in itself is a problem. When it comes to inciting violence or calling for violence, I think it's fair to say that he did cross that line. I mean, if you're saying to
Zuby, what the bro? Zuby. Zuby dooby dooby dooba. Zuby dooby dooby doo.
Race or ethnic group of people, whether he's pretending, and you've got the wider context of everything he's been saying beyond that. You'd have to go through it post by post. I think a lot of them, vast majority of them, I'm not a fan of. I would condemn what he's saying, but I would support his right to free speech. But when it comes up to the point of calling for violence, which he did in that specific one that you brought up, then yeah, that's a clear violation. I don't run X. I'm not Elon. I'm not a moderator, so I'm not in charge of that. I'm a very staunch advocate for freedom of speech.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is a line.
It sounds like you share my view. I mean, bring in the Rabbi here. I mean, Rabbi, if I was Jewish, I'm not. I'm an Irish Catholic. If I was Jewish, I'd have been utterly sickened by the constant tirade of blatantly anti.
Are you sure about that, Piers?
Garbage that was being spewed by Kanye West. How are you feeling?
First of all, you're an honorary Jew because you've really supported Israel through this war.
Oh my God, no! Piers, that is the worst compliment you could possibly receive. That was the worst compliment ever.
Yeah.
Kanye West. How are you feeling?
First of all, you're an honorary Jew because you've really supported Israel through this war, and we're grateful, Pierce. Tolerating the intolerable is the liberalism.
Look at his face. Look at
Speak
my.
about being a free speech absolutist, but there must be 3 exceptions: incitement to violence, commission of violence, and admission of violence. What's missing from this discussion is not that Kanye said that Jews should be whipped. It's that Kanye said that he has beaten women, and he said that women should be slapped, and his wife is in an abusive relationship. And Bianca Censori's family, who live in Melbourne, Australia, have done nothing to rescue her. Are we talking about whether there should be
Oh my God, he's doing the Ben Shapiro tactics. Look at him try to go personally after her family. Just like Ben Shapiro saying that he should be killed. Rabbi Shmuley talking about Ye's wife's family.
Pornography on X. There was pornography at the Grammys. Professional lip readers had him tell his wife, Bianca Censori, take your mink coat off, and she is totally glassy-eyed. There's no free agency. She's an abused wife. She's an abused woman. How is the media becoming complicit in the absolute degradation?
She's not being abused. I mean, most people know this, right? She's very clearly capable of making decisions for herself. She's not abused.
And humiliation of this woman who he claims to have dominion over, and he says he slaps her around, and he says that he has practiced violence against women. Where is law enforcement? Why hasn't he been arrested? Why hasn't there been an investigation? Where is the rest of Hollywood and the Grammys?
Oy vey, shut it down.
To condemn violence against women. The 2 most targeted victim groups in history are Jews and women. And
oh my God. Oh, bro. It just writes itself. This guy can't be. Did he just say that?
Condemn violence against women. The 2 most targeted victim groups in history are Jews and women. And notice
The victim immediate reversion to victimhood at every single category, always. Crying out as they strike you. Always. Remember when he was debating me? Hello, I'm here. I'm being attacked.
that Kanye, the ultimate bully, goes after both. And let me say one final thing. I utterly reject any belief that Kanye is sick. He is not. He is wicked. There's a big difference. He knows when to turn it off. At the Grammys, he was completely normal. He wasn't there and naked in any way. It was all about his wife. He didn't lose it. He said you're going to get a lot of attention. Everything he does is willful. It is motivated by a desire for attention, building his businesses. He is not crazy. That is an excuse. He is wicked and he is evil.
Yeah, I mean, I would add to this, choke no joke.
Who the f is, bro? Who the f is this?
One of the most offensive things he did for me, in his defense of Diddy, for example, he suddenly produced a T-shirt, which was a scene from the hotel lobby or the corridor where Diddy had beaten up one of his girlfriends, and it had her in the picture.
Myron's trying not to laugh, bro. Myron's doing this. He's gonna crack. Don't crack on television.
Right, this was literally a crime scene of appalling domestic abuse. And he's trying to sell a T-shirt based on it. Now, that alone, to me, crossed any kind of line that should be tolerable for social media.
Yeah, well, first of all, how you doing, Pierce? Thanks for having me back.
Good to see you.
All right. Like the rabbi said, Kanye is just doing all this for attention. You know, he's not the topic of discussion in hip hop no more. The Super Bowl was going on. It was Kendrick's moment. He's trying to steal his shine because it's not about him. It's about Kendrick and Drake right now. And he is an embarrassment to the black man. You know, he is a pure...
Oh, he's a Kendrick fan. Yeah, of course.
Embarrassment to the black community. 97% of us don't approve of what he's doing. He's disrespectful to women.
97%. Where did you get that figure?
No disrespect to the Caucasian woman, but if that was a strong, sophisticated black woman, she would not have took her clothes off.
What are you talking about? Okay, what he just said was racist, but no one's going to call it racist because you're allowed to go and shit on white people. Like, okay, the majority of strip clubs aren't compromised of black women. Like, black women aren't the ones twerking everywhere. Like, Sexy Red didn't normalize being naked in public. What are you talking about? If that was a strong, sophisticated black... What? Like, black female rappers didn't glorify being strippers? Like, wet-ass pussy never happened? The f*** is this guy talking about?
On that red carpet to satisfy.
Oh my God, bro.
Clout, which is fame or the spotlight. And I know Kanye. I was there today. He got signed at Rockefeller. I met his mother. I've been in his apartment. I know the humble Kanye that fame, once he's allegedly sold his soul to this game, he became this dark person. And what, like the rabbi said, what he's doing is very evil. I don't think that's freedom of speech. What he's doing, that can incite a riot, that can incite a hate attack on the Jewish community. And all he's doing it for is attention. There's nothing wrong with him. He's just mad because he's not relevant right now.
You know what? I agree. In fact, when I interviewed him at length over a year ago, you know, he categorically denied that he had any mental illness. And I also asked him if he had any regrets, because he'd been through a storm about abusing Jewish people before, about saying he wanted to go DEFCON 3, DEATH, DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. And I asked him if he regretted.
He spelled it wrong. He meant DEFCON 3. He didn't get it.
Let's see what he said. You've now changed what you wanted to say originally. My question for you is, do you now regret saying DEFCON 3 on Jewish people? Are you sorry you said that?
No.
I think it matters. You should be.
Absolutely not.
When you insult the Jewish people and say you're going DEFCON 3 on the Jewish people, that is as racist as anything you say you've been through and any pain that you've experienced. It's the same thing. Racism is racism. And you know that, I think, don't you?
Yeah, obviously. That's why I said it.
So you said it knowing it's racist?
Yes. I fought fire with fire. Okay. I'm not here to get hosed down.
At least that's
honest.
honest.
Type of freedom fighter. I will say I'm sorry for the people that I hurt with the DEFCON, the confusion that I call. I feel like I caused hurt and confusion. And I'm sorry for the families of the people that had nothing to do with the trauma that I had been through, and that I used my platform where you say hurt people, and I was hurt.
But the truth is, he wasn't sorry about the hurt. Otherwise, he wouldn't have carried on doing it for the last 3 days. And just to bring you back, Myron, if I can.
He's back to gaining attention, and I guarantee you, there's some music coming down the pipeline.
Right.
And that's why he's doing this.
Yeah, it's attention-seeking for personal gain. Myron, let me bring you back in, because yesterday when you were getting into it with me about what you perceived to be censorship, you said, why the fuck are you calling for censorship when you have a show called Uncensored? The hypocrisy is incredible. But I was calling for a censorship of blatant, threatening violence in the language
of
abuse of Jewish people and of women, including trying to market a T-shirt based around an incident of criminal domestic abuse. Surely you would agree with that censorship, wouldn't you?
No, I don't believe in censorship. I think, context matters, and it's very obvious that, he's doing this as a marketing plug. I mean, look, we're talking about it right now, so he's done a fantastic job. He had a commercial with the Super Bowl. He's the talk of the town right now. He's basically stolen the attention from Kendrick Lamar. Some people here are trying to say that Kendrick is more relevant than Kanye when it comes to hip-hop, but he's stolen the attention how? From really smart marketing. Now, with that said, I don't think anyone's ability to speak should ever be censored. Now, do I like everything that he says? No, but I'm going to fight for his ability to say it. I also think it's important to note that sarcasm and humor and making jokes is a part of what he was saying. Is he really going to run around and slap women? No. Obviously, he's being sarcastic, he's being funny, he's being edgy, and I think that's important because
that's a great point. Like, he stole all the attention away from the Grammys. I don't know what else happened at the Grammys. Does anyone know? The only moment that I can think of right now was that red carpet moment. Who won a chat right now? Name who won a Grammy. Who won a Grammy? Who won a hip hop Grammy? I have no idea. Oh yeah, Kendrick. Yeah. Yeah, right. Speed. Yeah, right. What did Kendrick? He okay. What else? Name another one. Did you watch the Grammys? None of us did, right? The one moment that I saw, I remember, was Kai's stream and Ye.
People like that pushing the envelope so we can protect free speech.
But he was literally trying to sell a T-shirt which had imagery of his friend Diddy, his new friend apparently because they fell out, his friend Diddy involved in a criminal act of abuse against a woman. Literally, that's what he was doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's America.
Well, hang on one second, just to be clear though, Myron. Just to be clear, Myron, you think that was acceptable?
Dude, I actually, when you think about this, he did a great job of using two major American events, the Grammys and the Super Bowl, to go and direct all the energy towards his wife and the swastika. Because he paid for like a $5 million Super Bowl ad to Yeezy.com, and the only item listed was a swastika t-shirt. It was the only thing there. Twitter, that's all X was talking about at the time.
Again, capitalism is capitalism. Do I agree with it? Do I like it? Maybe not. We'll support his ability to do it because he's obviously marketing things. He thinks maybe he has some dark humor that he wants to do where he thought that was funny. But the reality is that this is America and capitalism is a thing here.
So when Elon Musk... hang on one second. I'll come to all of you. So when, just to be clear, Myron...
Yeah, shut up, Rabbi.
Replied yesterday to someone on X
Shmuley.
and said that he was now being censored for the legal pornography that he was posting. Did you agree with that?
Well, I don't like pornography, but again, it is legal. There's a 3-part test in America with the Miller test to see if it suffices. And, you can make the argument that, it didn't cause any issues as far as...
So Elon was wrong to censor him?
With pornography?
Yes.
Well, again, I don't like porn. I don't think it should be on X at all, personally.
Okay, so you agree with censorship?
For pornography.
Right, but let's be clear, you agree with censorship?
No, I agree with pornography not being on X. I think it needs to be contained in a certain way.
But it's legal. It was legal what he was posting?
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, I don't have to like it or agree with it.
But what about his free speech rights to post it, if he wants to, if it's legal?
Well, that's a whole other thing. I think with X and pornography, there needs to be some kind of middle ground where, if it's going to be on X, there needs to be a way where it's not necessarily on the main feed, but that's a whole other
So you agree with censorship, don't you, Myron? I mean, for all your chat on Twitter to me yesterday, you actually agree with it?
Well, he interrupts more than anybody on the panel.
To compare censorship of pornography to censorship on political speech or...
So you think saying that you should treat Jews like slaves and whip them, or bitches deserve to be slapped, that is not... Or try to sell a T-shirt of a domestic crime being committed, you think none of those things are worse than posting legal pornography?
Yeah, I find it interesting that you're, harping on this, but there's...
Did you hear that chat, Mossad?
There's people that monetize murder and death all the time in the hip-hop industry. There's people that
I don't agree with that either.
I'm sorry?
I don't agree with that either.
Exactly. You don't have to agree with it for it to happen or for it to be allowed.
I'm curious why you think only the pornography, which was legal, to be clear, should be censored. You didn't think any of the other stuff should be. What's the difference?
Pornography and political speech? Completely different.
No, pornography and saying that Jews should be whipped and treated as slaves.
Well, that's speech. I mean, if he wants to say that, you know what I mean? I don't have to agree with it, but I think if he wants to say that, he should say that. I mean...
So consenting adults having sex and posting that is not acceptable, but treating Jews or saying Jews should be slaves and be whipped, that is acceptable for you?
Speech? You cannot conflate speech with pornography, Pierce.
Why not? Why not?
They're not the same whatsoever.
Why aren't they the same thing?
No, they're not.
Why not?
No,
Explain why the difference.
Because in order to allow speech, and you need to allow all speeches so that people can come in and be able to have ideas, right? We need to
What's wrong with people having sex?
But if you're going to go ahead and say, oh yeah, let's go ahead and conflate that with pornography. Well, there's nothing really to debate there, any real discourse that could be had with pornography of watching people have sex. It's not the same whatsoever, and to try to conflate the two is ridiculous.
One is legal, and the other one is actually illegal. To treat people like slaves and whip them would be illegal. Actually, legal pornography is legal. No, so you're in favour of censoring something that's legal, but you're not in favour of censoring something that's illegal. I find that fascinating.
Yeah, him saying that is actually protected under the First Amendment. Hate speech
actually,
is protected under...
That's the point. It's not. You don't even know. You don't know enough about your own First Amendment. I seem to know more than you. Although, just to be clear, I have a house in America. When I come to America, like anyone who comes to America, you are automatically protected by the First Amendment as well, right? So I know a lot about the First Amendment. The First Amendment actually bans a lot of things, including incitement to violence, incitement to violent hatred.
Anyone that was looking at his tweets, right? Anyone that was looking at his tweets that has any level of common sense understands that it's dark humor, understands he's trolling, it's marketing. He doesn't really mean
nothing funny about it at all. Let me bring in Zuby. You've been watching very intently, Zuby. I mean, look, I think what we've just established with Myron, with respect to him, is that when you try and be a free speech absolutist, it gets very complicated very quickly. Because I can't for the life of me, maybe you can articulate it better, but I can't for the life of me understand why Elon Musk, with his action yesterday, censors the legal pornography. And by the way, I agree with him. He should have done that. But that he doesn't censor any of the blatantly illegal things that that Kanye was spewing, notably the fact that you should treat Jews like slaves and whip them. That is actually a crime in America, to encourage people to do that, to incite that level of... Well, hang on, Myron, I'm going to zoom here. It seems to me that once you get into absolutism about this, it just gets complicated very fast.
Yeah, you're right. Look, it does get complicated, and the reality is that different
He made a point against Myron's beliefs and then didn't let him make a counterpoint.
people have different lines. Different nations have different lines. Every single country has different laws when it comes to freedom of speech, freedom of expression, even things that are graphic, visual things like pornography and so on. Some people will say that falls under freedom of speech. Some people will say that it doesn't.
Yeah, Myron's the only one getting interrupted right now.
Going beyond that, though, this is all happening on a platform, and social media platforms have the right to set their boundaries where they want the boundaries to be. On Facebook and YouTube, for example, you absolutely cannot post pornography in any form. However, on X/Twitter, for whatever reason, throughout its entire history, they have allowed that. A lot of people oppose it, but for whatever reason, they let that go. So the truth is, ultimately, we can discuss the First Amendment, we can discuss laws in different countries, but I think in this particular case, the question is really about X and X policies and what is enforced and what is not enforced and what crosses the line.
Isn't they on a perk?
And what doesn't. I would absolutely say, look, I don't even think I saw every single thing that Kanye posted. I don't use X on Sundays, but
I feel like he's not looking. I feel like he's not looking at the screen.
I saw the vast majority of the posts were certainly egregious, but they didn't cross a line outside of what is within the bounds of the First Amendment. When it gets to something like calling for violence, I think that's pretty clear cut.
Yeah.
So from what I saw, there were probably like 3 or 4 tweets.
Yeah.
Maybe somewhere between 2 to 4 tweets that crossed that line. So I'm not going to sit here and defend Kanye. I will defend the principle of free speech. Like Myron said, I don't think that pornography should be on X anyway. I think that's a whole separate conversation. So I think I can say that I think a lot of what he said was wrong, and I can be very critical of it. But the vast majority of it, I would not say is ban-worthy. However, there were a couple posts where he did cross the lines, and it's up to X how and when they enforce that. Yeah,
and Rabbi Shmuley, I would say that I'm a big fan of Elon Musk, and I'm a big fan of his free speech defense, which I think he's been very proactive in. But I think he's discovered it is very complicated sometimes, because there's no doubt to me that if any ordinary person had been spewing what Kanye was spewing, they'd have been suspended very quickly, as they would be on any social media platform. What struck me is...
Actually, I think that's a valid point. I think anybody else without being that... Because you can't ban... If you ban ban somebody at that level, there's a huge uproar, and it discredits X. If any of you guys are posting what Ye was posting, there's no way you would be banned. Absolutely.
Astonishing. I even directly posted to Elon saying, can you please do something about this? This guy is doing this with utter impunity and quite deliberately testing your limits of what free speech are. And the truth is, there are limits. That's why the First Amendment has limits to it. And that's why you've got to have some limits. Otherwise, people do what Kanye West did, which, by the way, he was doing it to 32 million people, Rabbi Shmuley. So 32 million people were seeing a very high-profile rap star boasting about being a Nazi, boasting about loving Hitler, boasting about wanting to, or ordering people, instructing them to make Jews be their slaves and whip them, saying that bitches deserve to get slapped, trying to sell T-shirts with domestic crimes on them. All of this, I thought, was just completely outrageous. And not a matter of free speech, but a matter of somebody literally spewing violent and criminal rhetoric.
I also like Elon Musk, and I'm very grateful to him for having gone to Israel right after the October 7th attacks.
Elon. If you hear anything positive from Rabbi Shmuley, that's the worst compliment you could ever receive.
Israel right after the October 7th.
Oh my God. Damn, bro. Shmuley's got his hands on he got his hands on Jackson. He got his hands on a lot of celebrities, man. RFK.
Attacks being escorted by the Prime Minister of Israel himself, Benjamin Netanyahu, to see the women that were raped, that were beheaded, families that were burnt alive. I was there 1 week after the attacks as well. But I also agree with this is absolutely unacceptable. I saw your tweet.
Wait, what's something about it?
I was there 1 week after the attacks as well. But I also agree with you that this is absolutely unacceptable. I saw your tweet, Pierce, and that's why I wanted to come on the show. Zuby, and wait just a second. Zuby and Myron, you seem like very decent guys.
Myron, you can respond to it, but he's finished talking.
Let me speak. I believe, respectfully, that this interview will live in shame for the two of you for the duration of your careers. Am I really hearing, first of all, from you, Myron, that he was joking when he said he beats up women? Ha, I beat my wife, Bianca, and that's funny? What is funny about beating up a woman?
You, Rabbi Shmuley, you are what's funny about it. Your witch face getting upset about jokes. That's what makes it funny. That you could say something and you know that this demographic of people just starts seething. That's why. That's what makes you laugh from your stomach, that it makes you so mad. And he keeps trying to say that this interview is going to live in shame forever. Everybody that you've debated and interviewed has destroyed you, and you've gained no influence. You get clowned everywhere. You tried to do this with me, and I didn't even want to debate, and I absolutely humiliated you. It was unanimous. It was you. People were expecting like a back and forth. I'm like, oh fuck, like Shmuley's coming over. You came in, I'm being attacked, and you thought that was a moment. And that is, I don't think a debate has discredited you that much. It was in real life. So I don't. His frame of thinking is that you're winning against everybody. You keep taking L's against Candace, against Myron, against Mohammed Ajab. Everyone just cooks you, and we all get more popular. You are helpful to us. You give us more credibility. Thank you. Thank you.
What is funny about threatening violence against a people who in the lifetime of my mother were gassed at a rate of 10,000 a day and turned into ash? This interview, respectfully, will be on your highlight career, living in infamy. It is not funny to murder 1.5 million children. It is not funny to rampage through the Jewish community surrounding Gaza, beheading Jews and non-Jews, including Thai workers with spades. I saw their beheaded bodies. For God's sake, there's real consequences to this hate. There used to be an alliance between the black and Jewish communities, knowing that we were hated for no reason other than the fact that we were different.
This dude is... Why are you nodding like Uncle... Like,
there used to be an alliance between the black and Jewish...
This right here is Leonardo DiCaprio and Samuel Jackson. Look at him nod like a good slave.
Communities, knowing that we were hated for no reason other than the fact that we were different. I ask you, Zuby, you believe in free speech completely? If I'm David Duke and I'm saying, you know, in 1964 in Birmingham, Alabama, we blew up churches, the Klan, and we burned 4 young black girls alive. Let's go do it again. Let's organize it. Sunday, this coming Sunday, 3 o'clock, we're going to burn those black girls alive. You're going to say, well, he has a right to say, give me a break. What you're going to say is that this man is a disgusting, filthy, excuse me, a disgusting, filthy racist. Now, wait, now just a second. Kanye did not incite violence. He confessed to violence. He said, I beat up women. And Myron, who the heck are you to say that he didn't mean it? Do you have evidence? You mean he's lying and you're telling the truth? We saw what happened with Diddy. And by the way, the only person here with any dignity in this debate is Choke No Joke, who's saying that this is offensive to black men. Do you guys not understand this is feeding every stereotype of black rappers? I love the black community. The greatest American of the 20th century was Martin Luther King.
Remember he just did the same thing to Grizz, my security guard? He said the same thing. He tried to like pit black people against me. He tried to call me a white supremacist. Like, how are you going to be a security guard for this white supremacist, Grizz? You're a black man. We're both victims. Let's work together. Holocaust, slavery, they're like the same thing. Me and you, we're brothers. Black man, my fellow nigga. Holocaust, slavery, same thing.
Died so that people could have dignity. But that's not what a lot of people think. A lot of people think that rappers are into using the word B-I-T-C-H-E-S.
I think I just unlocked a new accent. I just perfected. Did I not just perfect the Shmuley voice? That was really good, huh?
And Kanye says I'm a billionaire, and Choke No Joke comes along and says this is offensive to the stereotypes of black men.
To the stereotypes of black men. This is offensive, and 1.5 million Jews died just in the start of this interview. This is going to be in the highlight career next to the Hitler documentary. I'm being attacked, everyone! Everyone, buy my dildos from my daughter! Oy vey, shut it down!
And it is. And you guys are freaking defending this. I want to be clear. I'm sick of anti-Semitism. I'm sick of racism. There are white racists, nationalists who hate black people. Some of them are around President Trump, even though I think he's a great friend of the black community, but he has those voices. We have Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson denies the Holocaust, and yet he's in the president's ear. He denies the Holocaust.
All right,
Please, stop defending hatred.
Okay, I want to come to Choke No Joke in a moment, but I think it's only fair and right that I go to both.
Who? Choke No Joke? Where did he find this guy?
Just spray gun and get them to respond. So, Myron, your response to Rabbi Shmuley?
Yeah, again, you know, I find it incredible that he's over here so critical of Kanye West.
Woke no jokes. Woke no jokes.
Right.
Token black guy. Bro, what do you mean token black guy? There's two others on this panel. There's literally no need for woke no joke to be here.
Rabbi Shmuley.
Again, you know, I find it incredible that he's over here so critical of Kanye West, right?
Here we go.
Oh, he beats his wife, whatever. Meanwhile, you're walking around with a war criminal that's killed hundreds of thousands of innocent people, bombed them indiscriminately, etc. I find it very interesting that you're so hardcore on Twitter about some tweets that may or may not have been a joke, more than likely a joke. Anyone that has common sense, sarcasm, dark humor, etc. Versus you're running around with someone that's literally a war criminal wanted by the ICC that's killed tens of thousands of innocent children, right? And then you're over here calling for censorship. I'm tired of anti-Semitism. I'm tired of racism. People like you are the problem, because here's the thing. Americans are tired of censorship. We're tired of being browbeat into being virtue signaling losers like you, who always sit there and try to rage people and say, oh, you go ahead and you provoke problems with people. I've literally seen you do this. You go up to people, you provoke them, and they tell you fuck off, and then you get mad and you yell anti-Semitism. Quite literally, what I want to hear is this. Rabbi Shmuley, until you can actually call people liars for what they say, no one cares about anti-Semitism anymore. You guys run around, use it for everything. We're tired of it. Stop trying to browbeat us and virtue signal, saying, oh, that's anti-Semitic. How about this? When you can call someone a liar for what they're saying, then we'll start taking you more seriously.
Perfect. Perfect.
You.
Perfect. Perfect. Myron, my heart goes out to you. My heart goes out to you.
You're a fucking dildo rabbi.
All right, Zuby, you're
Oh!
For what they're saying.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Stop trying to browbeat us and virtue signal, saying, oh, that's anti-Semitic. How about this? When you can call someone a liar for what they're saying, then we'll start taking you more seriously. Other than that, you're a dildo rabbi.
Oh! My heart goes out to Myron.
Oh.
God damn, bro. Dildo rabbi.
all right, Zuby, your turn.
Okay. May I
No,
respond?
you can reply in a
May I
moment. Zuby, to respond to you first. Zuby?
All right, I'm going to keep it calm. I'm going to take the high ground here because that was a heck of a lot of straw manning going on there, because you know that I did not support what was said. I did not support anything hateful, and I actually very clearly said that I don't support inciting violence, and in fact, that is a clear violation. So you can try to straw man my position, but people can listen to this interview.
You did
and know
say
exactly
that. I
what
heard you very clearly say that.
Freedom of speech means racism. It means anti-Semitism.
May I-
It doesn't,
may I-
yeah,
may I
but the
respond?
trouble
May I
is, Myron, it
respond?
doesn't
Myron,
mean
I didn't
it
interrupt you.
doesn't mean
Myron, I
you
didn't
incite
interrupt you.
violence. That's the line.
Myron, I didn't interrupt you.
Here we go.
Myron, let me interrupt you. Myron, let me respond calmly. Myron, let me respond calmly, please. This is speaking over each other doesn't serve the interests of the public, please.
I understand that, but I'm saying...
Why don't you finish interrupting me and then I'll speak?
Okay, because you've been yapping the whole time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Freedom of
Thank you.
speech.
Myron, thank you. Myron, thank you.
Don't talk
for
over each other
showing-
because nobody can hear what anyone's saying.
Okay, Myron, thank you for showing your true colors. You believe that when Jews defend themselves against genocidal acts of violence, that we are the genocidaires.
Nigga looks like he just looks evil. Phenotypes exist for a reason. Physiognomy exists for a reason. Like he looks like every bad guy in a Disney movie from 2006. The cartoon character of like the bad teacher. If I was, I want to direct movies soon. I would cast Rabbi Shmuley to be the wizard that doesn't let Harry go to the class that he wants to go to. To be the gym teacher that suppresses the nerdy girl with the glasses, and the nerdy girl eventually takes off her glasses and then wears a dress, and then everybody's on her. And he's the teacher that's like, no, don't, no, seething the whole movie. It's the perfect casting.
You believe that when Jews defend themselves against genocidal acts of violence, that we are the genocidaires. We Jews are never victims. You said that I...
What?
Provoke anti-Semitic attacks. I was recently attacked by someone while I was working on the acceptance speech of one of President Trump's cabinet picks, by the way. It's because he's a friend, did it as a favor. When a crazy Islamist came over and threatened to murder me, it was filmed, it was watched by tens of millions of people. You believe that Jews are never the victim...
Is he talking about me?
Yes.
Is that me?
Yeah, bro.
Am I the Islamist? No? What happened? What was the...
For me. President Trump's cabinet picks, by the way, it's because he's a friend, did it as a favor. When a crazy Islamist came over and threatened to murder me, it was filmed, it was watched by tens of millions of people. You believe that Jews are never the victims of anti-Semitism. They are the they are the culprits of anti-Semitism. They're the culprits. We invite anti-Semitism. This is the oldest. You have to let me speak. This is the oldest anti-Semitic trope in the book, that we Jews want to shake down the world for money because we're money obsessed. You are saying exactly what Kanye said. Now, I wouldn't stop you from saying it. You're a Kanye supporter because you agree with this ideology, and I have no problem with you saying it because you're not calling for me to be whipped. You're not calling for me to be enslaved. So you can say it. You are a Jew hater, and you have a right to be a Jew hater. I agree with, because I'm a free speech absolutist. But Kanye West says, I beat women. His wife was ordered by him to strip naked. You're opposed to pornography, and you support what he did at the Grammys to that poor, abused woman? Let me ask you, Myron, why don't you speak out against what Kanye did to his wife if you hate pornography?
Again, I don't like pornography. I don't support it, right? You don't have to agree with someone 100% to still be able to defend them. Like I said before, there's people that hold views that I dislike, but I'll defend their ability to say it because I have freedom of speech. Whether it's racist, it's anti-Semitic, or whatever else, term people want to use, I believe in freedom of speech, and that means protecting speech that you might not like. Also, you lied. You walked up to SNEAKO, you tried to provoke him during the election night, and he ended up embarrassing you. So you do go up and try to instigate arguments with people, and then you call it anti-Semitism when they respond to you.
W Myron in the chat. We love Myron over here. He's Love Speech certified for life. That's my dog. That's my guy. I texted him about this. I said thank you for that. It's a big mention on Piers. I bet you Piers are going to ask me to come on soon. I would guess so. And probably a lot of it has to be attributed to this, man. He didn't need to say that. He didn't need to say that, bro. He didn't need to say that. That's a real friend. Real friends, how many of us? How many of us?
Okay, let me get a choke, no joke. Hang on. Choke, no joke. Be waiting very patiently.
Look at him seethe, bro. I own you. I own you. Ooh, I want to add my Thanos ring. I have like a couple Ziles already. I want to add Ethan Klein so bad, but he's focused on the transgender Free Palestine guy right now.
Look, you can see how quickly this escalates into a lot of ad hominem attacks. What do you feel?
I would like to say, first, I'm sorry, what's your brother, the brother named Marvin? Myron, what's your name?
Myron.
Look, Marvin, come on, bro. Oh my God. Okay, I know what he's about to do. You know what he's about to do? He's about to do the brother. He's about to do Wakanda forever. He's gonna say, Myron, Wakanda forever.
Myron, brother, please, we on the world stage, man. You know, I don't know if you're African American, or I see you colored. I don't know if you're black, African American, but brother, please.
Colored.
Because when we're talking about race.
Idea's not race. Idea's not race.
Hold on, brother. We're talking about race. We're talking about racism here, right? Now, if Pierce went on X.
This is fresh and fit. Fresh and fit.
And said black people should be hung by trees and whipped, right? Would you not think that we would not have the same feeling?
Bro, you know what's funny? Like how you guys haram police me? This is the black version of haram policing Myron. Brother Myron, we all colored brothers over here, Myron brother. Aki, like, brother SNEAKO, this is haram. He's really doing brother Myron. That's not P. Stay black.
That the Jewish community is having right now with Kanye making these types of tweets?
You know what? I wouldn't really care if Pierce said that, because I would say it's a freedom of speech. You can say that if you want. I might not like it, but again.
My question to you is, as black people, would we be offended as the Jewish community?
Is that his whole thing? Let me guess, his whole content is as a black man? As a black man in America, as a black man in therapy, as an African-American black man in therapy.
People would be offended right now.
Here's what I'm trying to say. Fuck your feelings, dude. Nobody cares. Freedom of speech is freedom of speech. I don't care how you feel.
Fuck, man. God, just perfect. You
need to allow people to say what they want to say. If you don't like it, that's fine.
Okay.
But
here's the problem. Hang on. Here's the problem I have with this. Is that Zuby has very clearly drawn a line. Right, Zuby, I know from interview. Hang on. Zuby has always passionately defended free speech, as indeed have I. But like me, he draws a clear line when people are inciting violence. There is no doubt that is what Kanye West was doing. And the only member of the panel who has not denounced that is you, Myron. And I'm baffled why you can't draw a line that is drawn by your own First Amendment.
Again, because I have the common sense to realize that he's not talking about really beating women. It's a joke. He's been making tweets trolling the whole day.
Brother, how do you know it's a joke? How do you know it's a joke?
It's very obvious a joke.
Can I finish my point?
Have you asked him?
Let me finish my point. First of all, brother, listen. You said, right?
Brother.
It can be dark humor. You said it's common sense. Everybody don't have common sense. Kanye has fans that will do and follow whatever he does, right? I've seen his career go from the beginning up to now. I've seen people being influenced by him. I've seen people dress like him. I've seen people talk like him. So if he's influencing these hatred things, talking about he's Yadolf Hitler and influencing his audience to hate Jews, influencing his audience to disrespect women, to influence young black men to have their women walk around naked. He has that influence, brother. So when you say, oh, it's just common sense, it's just dark humor, you're saying that because you lived a little to learn to know. The youth, the young black men, they don't know. Like they thought in hip hop, dudes was really killing and shooting and stuff, and they thought that these people were real gangsters.
It was crazy, like
drill music. Because when they found out this guy was a wankster, he wasn't real, they had to go and shoot and kill first, then go to the studio. So it has influence, brother.
Yep.
And you breaking my heart because I watch you sometimes, and I didn't know that you would be. You're not ignorant.
Look at this liar. He just said, remember like 2 minutes ago, he said, is your name Marvin? And now he watches the show. This fraud, bro. Fraud. Like,
just saying it's pure ignorance right now. Everybody know my Instagram is real joke, no joke, right? I get censored for just telling the truth, being a strong heterosexual man, and I'm censored. What Kanye doing is not freedom of speech, it's hate. You know what I'm saying?
And that's a very interesting point, because
hatred is freedom of speech.
A lot of people get suspended for far less than what Kanye said. Zuby, again, I want to bring you back in here. Some people say, look, the best sunlight, and the sunlight can sometimes be the best disinfectant. In other words, you let someone like Kanye spew his vile garbage, and actually the court of public opinion sees him for what he is, and that settles the matter. I've got to say, I'm more with Choke No Joke, that of the 32 million people that follow Kanye on X until he disconnected himself, you just don't know how.
Pierce has no issue saying choke no joke, broke no joke, woke but broke, but he can't say yay. Yay's the easiest thing to say. Yay. Yay. It's like, it's the least amount of effort. I still hear people say ye, and that pisses me off. Like, why do you think it's ye? But no problem, joke, no choke.
How many might have an impression from him that they then want to follow? You just don't know, because they're not all smart people. A lot of people might be easily led down a horrible line of anti-Semitism or whatever it may be because their hero Kanye has said this. What do you feel about the sunlight disinfectant argument?
Yeah, look, I like to know who people are. It's part of why I like freedom of speech. You know, right here, we've got a lot of passionate people on this panel right here. There's people out there in the world who like some of us and who don't like some of us, right? I think every single person on this panel has said things in the past that people would have liked to cancel them for, ban them for, censor them for, and so on. So personally, when it comes to the concept of hate, people are allowed to be haters. People can be hateful. And I support free speech when it comes to people being hateful. I'm like, cool. Like, it doesn't mean I like what they're saying, but they have a right to say it. If someone wants to be nasty about white people, nasty about black people, nasty about Jewish people, nasty about whoever, Arabs, any ethnicity or race, I don't support that. I don't think it's good. But if you're calling, as I said before, if you're calling for violence, or if you're, really, that's my line. That's my line. If you're saying like these people should be hurt or this individual should be hurt, I'm not saying that I support hate, but people have a right.
So if a white man walked up to you and say, "Hey, get out the way," you support that?
That I support hate, but people have a right.
So if a white man walked up to you and say, "Hey, get out the way," you support that?
I support his right to say it, and he can deal with the consequences.
And you don't feel no way about it. You're just gonna go out.
And what other consequences said he can deal with the consequences?
That guy's like just the stupidest. Like, he argues like a girl. What if you feel bad about it? What if you don't feel no type of way? What if you feel bad? So? What are you, 60 years old? Arguing like a 10-year-old girl?
But to be for you, what would the consequences be?
I'm not going to call the police on him.
Okay.
It could get physical.
Pierce.
In the same way, if someone goes up to someone,
we're ignoring one of the most.
Wait a second, Rabbi Shmuley. Wait a second, Rabbi. Everyone, wait. I'm interested in Zuby's response to that. If somebody came up and abused you like that, what you're saying, I think, is that you would deal with it how you want to deal with it.
Exactly. Look, there are all sorts of things. Look, we're all grown men here. We all know that if you go up to a man and you just start insulting him, insulting his sister, insulting his family, calling him names or whatever, we all know that could result in physical violence. It doesn't mean that you're going to run away and you're going to call the police and say,
oh my God, how is the debate like getting like these stupid semantics from?
But I support people's right to say those things, and the latter.
White men, that these black men wanted to file your women. The Germans said the same thing about Jewish men in Germany. Now, that's one of the things that people feel most strongly about. I have to protect my women, I have to protect my wife. Then we saw lynchings. Choke No Joke made a very good point. We saw all these lynchings. Those lynchings were a direct reaction to, look at Emmett Till. Emmett Till was 14 years old. Arguably the most famous lynching in American history. They cut off his...
This dude is under Rabbi Shmuley's spell, bro. Shmuley owns Choke No Joke.
And put it into his mouth. We now have his coffin
We're all
at
men
the
here.
Smithsonian National Black History Museum because they said that he whistled at a white woman. Even a 14-year-old boy wanted to rape a black woman. Now, was that incitement to violence? Of course it was. The Klan is all about incitement to violence. When the Klan says that the black man by voting is going to take over the entire South and take your women and take your jobs, that is incitement to violence. That's why, Zuby, with all due respect, you're just being too general. You're not giving any strict categories here. Now, with Kanye, we know he said he beat women. There's no reason to say he was joking. We also know he said that Jews should be whipped. He's inciting violence against Jews. Now the question is the rest of the defamatory things, that Jews are parasites, that Jews steal your money, or what we just heard from Myron, that we Jews are guilty of genocide, killing that Netanyahu is a war criminal. Is that not incitement to violence? You're saying the Jews... Oh, wait a second, please. You're saying the Jews are murderers. Now, let's be clear.
Well, hang on. No, I'm going to stop you there. No, hang on, Rabbi Shmuley.
When did you say that?
You said at the start of this, by the way, that you wanted to thank me for being on
His name is Coke No Fent. Coke No Fent. Dude.
For supporting Israel, as if somehow I've given you a blanket support. I haven't. I've been very critical of what Israel's been doing, particularly in the last few months. And in relation to Netanyahu, it may well end up...
As soon as there's logical conversation, SNEAKO whines, just wants to see brain rot content. Well, I don't want to see Zuby explain like why he's like the most asinine things about speech. About like, oh, free speech is hate speech, and this is like, we all know that, I don't really need to hear that. It's just, and there's no argument for it. He's just like trying to, what Zuby's doing right there is just trying to like cover his ass to not get called anti-Semitic.
Up to now, I've seen people being influenced by him. I've seen people dress like him. I've seen people talk like him.
I see people.
So if he's
I'm from Brooklyn.
They cut off his penis and put it into his mouth. We now have his coffin.
Whoa. What?
Those lynchings were a direct reaction to, look at Emmett Till. Emmett Till was 14 years old. Arguably the most famous lynching in American history. They cut off his penis and put it into his mouth. We now have his coffin at the Smithsonian National Black History Museum because they said that he whistled at a white woman.
Like he's doing the Holocaust Museum thing for Emmett Till.
Even a 14-year-old boy wanted to rape a black woman. Now, was that incitement to violence? Of course it was. The Klan is all about incitement to violence. When the Klan says that the black man by voting is going to take over the entire South and take your women and take your jobs, that is incitement to violence. That's why, Zuby, with all due respect, you're just being too general. You're not giving any strict categories here.
Like, actually, bro, Shmuley's making a good
good point about Zuby's argument.
Now,
right?
with Kanye, we know he said he beat women. There's no reason to say he was joking. We also know he said that Jews should be whipped. He's inciting violence against Jews. Now the question is the rest of the defamatory things, that Jews are parasites, that Jews steal your money. Or what we just heard from Myron, that we Jews are guilty of genocide, killing that Netanyahu is a war criminal. Is that not incitement to violence? You're saying the Jews, wait a second, please. You're saying the Jews are murderers. Now let's be clear.
Well, hang on. No, I'm going to stop you there. No, hang on, Rabbi Shmuley, because you said at the start of this, by the way, that you wanted to thank me for being an honorary Jew for supporting Israel, as if somehow I've given you a blanket support. I haven't. I've been very critical of what Israel's been doing, particularly in the last few months.
No. You're an honorary Jew. He called you, Piers. Shmuley called you good boy. He good boyed you. You're an honorary good Jew. Good little goy. Good goy, Piers. Good goy. You're a good goy, Piers. You're a good little Zion goy. You're a good little Shavuos goy. Good job, Piers. Yeah. Come on. Good boy. Good.
And in relation to Netanyahu, it may well end up
Little guy,
he
what a
faces
treat.
war crime charges. So, let's be clear.
Let me
Hang on. My point is this. Criticizing a government or a prime minister or a president when they are waging warfare is completely legitimate. Right? You may not agree with the terminology. I don't, for argument's sake, I don't believe it should be termed genocide what's happening, but I do believe that Israel, having had a right and the duty to defend itself, I think has gone way too far. Now, I just think you've got to disseminate between being able to criticize Netanyahu and his government without being immediately accused of being anti-Semitic.
I agree. So let me respond to that. When I was Myron, I'll let you speak in just a moment. Let me respond to Pierce. I agree. Israel's a democracy. We invite criticism.
Bro, Unk's eyes detecting the fen. Someone said the old guy is such a slave. And I know you're joking around, but you do kind of get to see the mentality here when people say like slavery is a choice or the slavery mentality. Like this dude is instilled with the victim mindset. That's why he so clearly just started agreeing with Shmuley. Like he just, and his arguments are just about feeling 60 years old. And it's in a way it's sad to see, because he's never really, look at the vacant look in his eyes. He's never going to get out of this mindset.
You could be an Arab citizen of Israel and stand outside Netanyahu's house in Jerusalem and call him Hitler, and nothing will happen to you. The Israeli authorities can do nothing, and you'll watch it. I film this all the time. The difference is that, and here's the key, Kanye actually wrote that—
Someone said bros and get out. Yeah.
I want to normalize discussion of Hitler. In other words, normalizing Hitler means that everyone is now Hitler. So I was there when Elon Musk did his salute. I was there in the audience. He never did a Hitler salute. It's a lie. And he wrote, we just normalize Hitler. So now Elon Musk is Hitler, and Benjamin Netanyahu is Hitler. Now you spoke the other day to Tucker Carlson out of Saudi Arabia. It was a very interesting interview. And you made the point that the man that I consider to be the greatest statesman of the 20th century, Winston Churchill, he considers the villain of the 20th century. Again, the normalization of the discussion of Hitler. Who was the bad guy in the Second World War? Not the guy who gassed 10,000 Jews a day. Not the one who brought belligerent war to Europe. Not the one who starved to death 5 million Russian prisoners of war. But Churchill, the man who saved democracy. No, we are beginning to normalize the discussion of democratic leaders.
Shmuley, see, right now he's doing well. He's smarter than he puts on. Like when he starts to dress himself up, I have the picture saved as anti-Semitic memes, or the way he debated me. I think he could have won if he just stopped trying to victimize himself. There were points when I was debating him, where oh shit, when he started cornering me on 9/11, I'm like, okay, I don't have I remember thinking in that debate, I don't have everything. I don't have all the ammunition I need to win this right now. And he moved on. He let me get away with that because he was getting too emotional. Right here, the way he's explaining history, he's pretty knowledgeable, but he just comes off like such a idiot. That's why it was so easy. Like this picture. Shmuley, when you do this, you just make everyone think you're a idiot. And I could hear you talk about history. You're not that dumb. I've seen videos over the years too. You sound coherent, but you've reverted to this victim stance of debating all the time, and it's not helping you out. So brotherly advice, do more of this. Why? Let me not tell you.
Trying to protect people's freedoms. And in that sense, I say, Netanyahu, whatever you think about Netanyahu did not launch some aggressive war against Gaza. If anything, he allowed so much money from Qatar to go into Gaza that allowed them to fund October 7th. That should be the criticism. So the moment you start saying that Netanyahu is Hitler, that is where Kanye West begins to win. Churchill is Hitler, and Netanyahu is Hitler. And now we can no longer distinguish between good and evil, between free societies fighting to stop the gang rape of women and the beheading of children versus Hamas, who preaches the gang rape of women.
You see, a lot of the stuff he's saying, but the way, look at it's all about optics in these debates, and that's what he doesn't get. Because he knows he has the points and stuff like this, the arguments. He's debating in the mirror by himself. But look at the way he looks right now. Shmuley, look at what you look like. Look at what you look like here. If you freeze this, who won? Myron won, just off of this image right here. You can see everything you need to know about this debate right here. This guy has a slave mindset. he just wants to take orders from Shmuley. Zuby is kind of sitting on the fence. Piers is just trying to farm content. Myron is the only one telling the truth. You could see it in the faces right now. Like, it looks like, bro, for choke no throat, it looks like the fentanyl just kicked in. This guy, like, you could see that he's yelling about the Holocaust. And
fighting to stop the gang rape of women and the beheading of children versus Hamas, who preaches the gang rape of women.
I don't want to get
like, that's why, let me explain, chat, like, how important optics is in these debates. That's like 70%. 70% of debates is just how you look. Hold on, I'm going to bring it up. My debate with him. You guys all saw that, but you guys all saw it, right?
You know I'm free Palestine. I don't support anything you do.
Like, I won just because of this. Look at me. Handsome, American flag, MAGA hat, twice your height. Shmuley's looking up with pleading hands. If I hold this frame the whole debate, I won. That's what I realized. Like here, I'm like, okay, this is on camera. He's trying to do the victim thing. If I hold frame right here exactly like this, I'm gonna win.
I think you're a disgrace. This is for Trump right now. I don't want to have this discussion. I don't need to speak to you.
I'm a disgrace?
Yeah, I think everything you stand for is a disgrace.
Oh, me? You know who I am?
Yes, of course I do.
Hey, he knows who I am.
Of course I do. Yeah, it's all bad PR. I see what you've done with your daughter.
What is it about me that you don't like? Is it this?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Did you just
I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. He's not talking to you.
You need this guy to defend you?
You think I need it? You think I need anybody?
That is pathetic.
Do you think I need somebody to defend me from you?
You see these anti-Semites are the biggest cowards on earth. He asks.
Then look me in the eye when you talk to me.
He asks the big, strong guy if he needs to be canceled, okay? Well, that's a disgrace.
Do you think I need anybody
to... Tell him that I can talk to you man to man. He doesn't
I don't need to tell him anything.
Over me, okay?
Why are you yelling at this protest right now?
Like, that's the thing, Shmuley. Shmuley's 3 times my age, but he acts like a loud kid on the playground. Like an obnoxious little troll. I mean, he does look like an actual troll. Like a literal troll. Like a banker in Harry Potter. He does look like that. But the way he acts is like that fucking kid. Like, you stole the ball from me, and I'm gonna know it, and you need but I want to play now. It's my turn to play with the ball. I see you said that after your turn, it was my turn. But and everyone around sees it. Like, I don't know why he think that tactic is helpful.
Plus, do not ever have your bodyguards threaten me.
Nobody threatened you. You cry at us, they strike you.
Everyone heard it. You want me to cancel him? What does cancel mean? Beat me up, shoot me, kill me? What does cancel mean?
You asked me a question.
What does it mean? I don't know what you have. What's in there? What does cancel mean?
He just thinks, bro, he thinks there's a gun in the back.
How dare you? Here, nothing. You know what it is? I'm not afraid. I'll show you. Here, I
know the crowd, like, it's all optics. Everyone here is creeped out. They're like, what? Like, what? His crowd control's terrible for somebody this long in the game, and he has a lot of allies around him. It's not a MAGA rally. He's already on home turf. This is all the Judeo-Christians here love Israel. Look, this lady here is creeped the fuck out by you.
Phone, I got glasses there, and an extra battery. You show me what you got in there. You won't open it, will you? Do you want me to cancel? Anti-Semites are cowards. Cowards, Jew haters. You guys are the biggest cowards.
You support genocide. How am I accountable? I'm looking at you.
Look at me. Okay, right there. This is also where I win, and I don't know why he let me do this. He's going the anti-Semitic route. I reroute to Zionism. Boom. You support genocide, and he falls into the frame.
Cowards.
You support genocide. How am I accountable? I'm looking at you. You can't look in the eye.
You support genocide.
Who supports Hamas?
You support the slaughter of the Jewish people.
I do.
You are nothing but
you asked me a question.
I support a slaughter. That flag is liberty. That flag is freedom.
America first has nothing to do with it.
And also, yeah, I stole the home base. You see how he fumbled? First, he came in waving an Israel flag, and Trump just got elected. He just won. I stole the home turf advantage. I'm a Muslim. I'm a brown Muslim in America. Putting on the red hat. Easy, bro. Easy. The optics there, like everyone there. If I wasn't like that, if it was just me and Grizz, think about this. Imagine without the American flag, without the MAGA hat, brown Muslim, black security guard. Looks a little iffier. So he's trying to, now Shmuley, because he sees the flag in the hat, he's trying to lean into the white supremacy thing, but they're like, oh wait, black security guard, chinky guy. Like none of his tactics, none of his programming is working. Nothing. In another scenario, bro, I could have got jumped here. Him calling me racist, saying you support all this stuff, like trying to get the crowd. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get me hurt. He's trying to get me touched. He's trying to get the crowd to come and hurt me, and none of it worked.
You are about anti-Semitism, racism. You are about bigotry. You are all about, what is it?
The Zionists have no part of the Make America Great Again movement. You need to get out. We don't want to fund your country. We have no part of you.
Look at me using the crowd back to my advantage. I speak up. The Zionists have no part of the MAGA movement. Us versus them. He's trying to make me the enemy. Nah, nigga, that's the enemy. This is the Zionists trying to corrupt it, trying to put Israel instead of America first. You hear that, everybody? Me not trying to get fucking attacked.
America first cannot happen until we get out of there.
Wait a second, I'm American.
Why don't you go to
You don't
Israel?
want Jews being American,
Why don't you go to Israel?
Where did you come? Where did your
I'm born in America.
So am I.
Why don't you go to Israel? If you support Israel, go to Israel.
Because Jews have no place in America, right?
No, of course.
You would deport us if you
do.
could. You know what?
Who do you have allegiance to?
Maybe you would do
Answer
a lot
my question.
worse.
Answer my question. Who do you have allegiance to?
I have allegiance.
Also, you know what I started channeling here? I started thinking about the way he's doing this. Oh, I love the Muhammad Hijab Shmuley debate where Shmuley's just like, brother, you're a prostitute. You sell dildos with your daughter. Like that sort of energy, like the authoritarian, like he's giving a speech. You know, Muhammad Hijab gets up there and he's just speaking like that with that authoritarian voice. I'm like, okay, that worked. Let me check. You hear how my voice switched? That's what you guys like. You know, people joke about grifting. I think that's my skill. Like I know how to channel certain like at the right time. And I swear to God, I didn't notice it until watching it back now. I can hear my voice switch and do it. Where I'm like, oh, hold on, I played again.
Why don't you go to Israel?
Why don't you go to Israel? Aki, that is haram. You need not 2 wives, you need 3. 3 wives.
You support Israel, go to Israel.
Because Jews have no place in America, right?
No, of course.
You would deport us if you
do.
could. You know what?
Who do you have allegiance to?
Maybe you would do
Answer
a lot
my question.
worse.
Answer my question. Who do you have allegiance to?
Answer my question. Answer my question. I swear to God, this is Muhammad Hijab.
I have allegiance to that flag that you are disgracing.
Why do you come here with an Israel flag?
Second.
Why do you come here with an Israel flag?
Well, right now, I would.
And that's exactly what he did in the debate on Pierce, where when he didn't, when he tries to run away from a question, you just repeat the questions, they answer it. Why do you have that flag? Why do you have that flag? Why do you have that flag? Why do you? And you don't change the tone. You say it exactly in that way, so they can't shift. You're not emotionally affected by their words. You stay on point. Why that flag? Why that flag? Why that flag? Until they fucking have to answer.
With an Israel flag.
Of course, I love Israel. It's America's greatest
go to
ally.
Israel.
Absolutely.
The greatest ally. What do they give us?
Let me ask you.
What does Israel give us?
What
What
does it
question?
give?
Right here, I'm thinking, okay, see, look how smiling around here. Nobody's like against me. People are taking photos. Grizz is still pissed off, but I'm like, okay, this smiling thing is working. This is working. And so if I hold this, optically, I'm gonna win. It's the antithesis to like the freakish little girl. I'm like here, I'm already looking down at him, which is my favorite part of this. Like I'm literally, my eye line is going here. If I smile too, it's like it gets rid of all of his threats of violence. It makes me look like I'm in charge here. It gets rid of the age gap. This should not, like a 26-year-old guy versus somebody in his 60s. This shouldn't happen.
Israel give you the most essential intelligence.
I saw the Candace debate too.
About whether or not we're going to be attacked.
Bombs.
Well, Israel gives us this democracy
what happened on 9/11?
in the Middle East.
What happened on 9/11?
In the Middle East. You tell me what happened.
Yeah,
did the Jews do it? Did the Jews do it?
Of course.
The Jews did 9/11.
Of course Israel did 9/11.
Listen to this Jew hater.
Of course Israel did 9/11.
Listen to this disgusting Jew
Disgusting.
hater. What else did we do? Did we kill ourselves?
I don't know. You started a dildo business with your daughter is what you did. You started a dildo business with your daughter.
By the way, he has the friends and family discount, everybody.
Disgusting.
Let me tell you something.
You call me disgusting. You sell dildos with your daughter.
Let me tell you something.
You sell dildos with your daughter.
No, sir.
I saw you dance on a child at a wedding.
No, sir.
You twerk on children.
What you believe
You have a mom and pop shop with your daughter.
Murderers, killers.
Do I? When did I say that?
You said we did 9/11.
When did I say that? I said Israel did 9/11. Israel did. Of course you did.
What's your proof?
Of course I did.
What's your proof?
It's fingerprints all
hate
over.
Jews. Give me one thing.
Do you want me to answer your question
Say
or no?
one thing. Yes, go ahead.
Right now I'm thinking, oh shit, I don't have the information. Now I can give good information right here. Right now there's a lot on my mind and I couldn't access it quickly enough, and I'm panicking a little bit, but I'm like, okay, maintain frame so he doesn't catch it.
The dancing Israelis celebrating there. The Israelis loved it. You celebrated when they won.
The Palestinians were the ones celebrating. What are you talking about?
Where's your evidence of that?
Which city? We have all
in
the
Jersey
videos.
City. In Jersey City, you can see you won the van.
The Palestinians were dancing.
The Palestinians.
That is correct.
Okay, they change countries every day.
That's your fingerprints?
Yes.
By the way, Israelis, you said Israelis. Jersey City is Americans. Where are the fingerprints in Israel did 9/11? Why am I even debating this?
I don't know. You came up.
Hey, let me get away with it right here, bro. Right here, I found my escape route. That was the one moment where I'm like, ooh, fuck, this could be bad. Nothing.
To me, nobody came up to you.
Anti-Semitic.
I don't know. You came over to me. I didn't come over to you.
You're the one who threatened me with your bodyguard.
I threatened you.
I'm not afraid of you.
I threatened you.
will never fear you.
You cry out as they strike you.
You think that
Who threatened
Jews
you?
will ever be afraid of you? He asked the.
Chat, do you see what I'm saying by channeling Muhammad Hijab? A lot of the time, it's not like intentional. It's not intentional. But like I swear, like you don't hear me talk like this often, do you? They cry out as they strike you. Did I threaten him? He said I threatened him. He's assuming that I'm threatening him. When did I say I threatened him?
You cry out as I strike you.
Think that
Who threatened
Jews
you?
will ever be afraid of you? He has to bring his big, tough, burly bodyguard. And by the way, as a fine African-American gentleman, what are you doing with a racist anti-Semite like this? What would you be doing with a guy that would take black
You're a
Jews
cartoonist representative.
and have
I love
thrown
Jews.
out?
You make Jews in America look
You
bad.
love Jews?
I
You
love
just
Jews.
said that we did 9/11.
I said Israel did. There's a difference
What
between
is
Zionists and
Israel?
Jews.
Is Israel the Jewish state?
It's the difference
Is
between
Israel
Zionists and Jews.
Is Israel the Jewish
It's a
state?
genocidal state.
It's a genocide.
It's a genocidal
What is
state.
Hamas? Freedom fighters?
It's not a state.
What is Hamas?
Are you stupid?
What is Hamas?
Are you stupid?
What is Hamas?
Freedom fighters.
This guy,
They're defending.
I knew it.
They're defending.
The smile is just one here. Are you stupid? He just compared Israel to Hamas, like a little rogue army filled with prisoners. You know, people fight. Like, how are you going to compare that to the most advanced military in the world?
Baby killers, freedom fighters.
Baby killers? What babies did they kill?
Freedom fighters.
Ben Shapiro was wrong. There's no evidence of
You know
this.
what amazes me?
What is it?
African American man.
A lot of
This guy hates you. You don't get that. Absolutely. What do you think about African Americans?
I am African American.
Oh, really? But you
I'm
said,
part black.
But you just said.
I'm part black.
I hate.
Grizz is getting pissed off here, bro. He just wants to do it. He wants to do a security job.
People, God forbid, blacks and Jews are brothers. So do I. So do I. He calls you an African American. He'll tell you to go back. Why didn't you tell him to go back?
He was born here. What are you talking about?
So was I.
Where should I go? You're the only one.
Here's the checkmate. Here's the checkmate, bro. Like this was good. When I said this, I'm like, I'm cooking.
So was I. Where should I go?
You're the only one
should I
who
go?
has allegiance to another country. You should fuck off to Israel. If you have allegiance to this, you came here with an Israel flag.
Dual allegiance. We did 9/11.
He doesn't have a flag of Africa on him. He doesn't have a Haitian flag. You came here with an Israel flag.
True hatred.
Who hates Jews?
Anti-Semitism.
We know you. We know who you are.
We know who you are.
Are you a don't touch me.
Aside, like in my head, I'm like maintain frame, but like when this dude came in, shout out to this brother, this Aki brother, Haram brother here. I sighed relief, like, ooh, back up. This whole time, this dude is trying to get somebody else to come in and yell at me, and he had no backup. This nigga came in and just, I'm like, whew. Oh, God, yeah.
Don't touch me. See? And what are you? And what are you? You see? You guys see I'm always alone. Look at how these guys think. They always need a
No one's
wingman.
threatening you.
He needs a wingman.
Well, one-on-one.
They always need wingmen.
I thought it was pretty unnecessary to say that. Like, he kept saying, like, oh, you need a bodyguard? Like, I'm like, one-on-one, like, what do you think is going to happen if I started flexing? Like, that would have been stupid. So I think it was better to just let the visuals do the talking.
Always need bodyguards.
The genius of playing victim. But it's not working anymore. I think everybody sees through the veil now, right? Like, this is a good example of the victim grift not working.
I'm not afraid of you. In fact, I believe you're a good person. Don't hang out with this guy. Come on, you're better than that.
Okay.
You're better than that.
There you go, creating division.
This man hates.
Trying to create division.
He hates Jews.
Yeah.
He hates blacks. Listen to this.
You are a clown.
You're an embarrassment on the Jewish community, genuinely.
And this is. You work with Mohammed Hijab? Mohammed Hijab is a terrorist.
He's a terrorist. He's a terrorist.
Mohammed Hijab is a terrorist. Absolutely.
Okay.
He is being investigated for.
Yeah, he got nothing, bro. Everyone in here, like, he thought they were going to slide, and they just started farming. Nobody wanted. But, yeah, that was fun, man. That was a good time. All right, let me finish the debate.
Into the wider thing, other than to say that on that point, I'll come to Myron for this. When Democrats have called Trump Hitler, for example, repeatedly the last 8 years, I kept telling them, if you do that, it will inevitably backfire, because most Americans know he's not Adolf Hitler, and he's not going to murder 12 million people. He's not going to incinerate 6 million Jews in ovens in the Holocaust. So, it's such a fatuous, horrible analogy to make. But Myron, I wanted to ask you as we come to a close here, has anything you've heard change your mind, in particular, perhaps, what Zubia said? Because you both passionately believe in free speech, but he has clearly drawn a line, the same line that is drawn by the First Amendment, when it is an incitement to violence. So are you rethinking, perhaps, your blanket defense of everything that people say, including if they incite violence?
I think context matters. I think if someone's being sarcastic or funny or saying something in a joking term, I think it's important for everyone to understand that he was doing this in the middle of a marketing run, right?
And if I said to you now, sometimes you have to do it like the Pharaohs. You have to make black people work for you, but watch them as close as you can, whip your blacks. If I said that to you now, literally take...
That was a good argument from Myron, the humor defense. But if we're being realistic, chat, do you think Ye would even call those jokes? Do you think that he would play I don't think... If Ye was on this panel, I don't think he would defend it by calling it humor. It's a good way to pivot, but I think Ye would say, like, freedom of expression, because you see when he left X, he's like, oh, this was therapeutic. It was like being on an ayahuasca trip. I don't see Ye. I don't think I've ever seen him like take the humor defense.
In his words about Jews, what would you say?
I would laugh because
you
I have
find
the
that
ability.
funny?
Yeah,
I don't think you would. I don't think you would. And by the way, nor should you. Nor should you because it's not funny.
To you,
I also don't think that he would use the marketing angle either.
Beating women is not funny. Beating women is not funny. There's nothing funny about beating a woman.
Hang on, let me finish.
That's not funny.
Again, humor is subjective. What you might find funny, I might not find funny, and vice versa.
There is nothing subjective about beating a woman. It is absolutely wrong.
Let him finish, please. Let him finish, please, Rabbi Shmuley.
Beating women is not
Let him
funny.
finish, please.
Rabbi, I get it. You got your panties in a bunch here, but remember, again, I don't have to like something for it to be allowed. And the other thing too is that humor is subjective. I don't get angry at race jokes. I don't get angry at anything. People call me all kinds of deplorable things, but I don't get angry because I don't let racism or any type of ism affect how I think, because that's how they control you. So again, I will defend people's ability to say anything, even if it's offensive. The other problem too, I think that's very important here, that Rabbi Shmuley and Cho keep mentioning, is this whole outrage culture and feelings or whatever. That's precisely the problem. We live in a soft society where people are more concerned with what other people are saying and pay way too much attention to it. Look, Kanye did a good job because we're clearly talking about this, and his marketing has worked.
No, it's not. No, it's not. He hasn't. I don't think he has. I think he's completely fucked his career. Honestly, I do. And I'm sorry to use the F word, but we are uncensored. I think he is self-imploded in such a way that actually you watch. There's no way this has been a good market.
It's funny that they call this uncensored. Piers, didn't you censor when Fentanyl Choke, when he said the hard R, you censored it. He's like, if they call me a would you fuck that was bleeped. That was bleeped. And your show is called Uncensored.
Cutting thing for him. No way at all.
He doubled his shirt sales, Pierce. Huh? He doubled his clothing sales from doing this.
Just watch. Let's look back in 6 months' time and see how good this has all been for him. I want to end. We've run out of time, unfortunately. It's been a brilliant debate by all of you. Thank you. But Choke, no joke. Let me just go to you for the final word on this.
Why?
I'm just so disappointed.
He's not gonna say anything. He's gonna do the I'm hurt and do better. He's gonna take the empathy emotion route and not say anything funny or interesting.
My brother right here. But just make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel. Choke No Joke.
Fuck off.
So I got a lot of old content of Kanye West on there when I used to work at Rockefeller, as documenting. So y'all can see Kanye when he was more sane than what he is now and what this industry has created. And once again, there's one thing of freedom of speech, but there's also another thing when you have the influence of a Kanye West. Now you got young men looking up to see who Hitler is. You don't know how that can affect their young brain.
I agree. I agree.
You know
last time he went on this rant about DEFCON 3 in Los Angeles on the bridges, up went the swastikas. There was a direct consequence of what he was saying, and that is why words.
And the sales of Mein Kampf.
That is why words are
on Amazon, etc.
Yeah, that's why words are dangerous. Look, you're only all here for one reason. You're all popular with your communities, and you're very well watched. And it's been, I've got to say, one of the more interesting debates I think we've ever had on Uncensored. So thank you all very much indeed. I appreciate it.
Great debate. I thought Myron cooked. I'm not gonna. I thought Myron cooked. I don't think Shmuley had anything on him. Shmuley said the stuff he always says. Myron talking about how hate speech is free speech was good. We don't care about your feelings. Dildo Rabbi was great. Yeah, Myron was the only one getting muted. Rabbi Shmuley looks like a character you'd scare your children with for misbehaving. It's ironic this is called Piers Uncensored when he's fighting for censorship. Real talk. 3 black guys and a rabbi walk into a bar. They'll call you a lot of things, but they won't call you a liar. People are waking up, bro. On BotTube. Why are you interviewing that rabbi again? Myron, are you African American? Why does that matter? Look at that. Myron crushed it. Let's fucking go. Oh, Digital Social Hour. Shout out to him. Shmuley does more to promote anti-Semitism than Kanye by far. I've been saying this. Great debate. Great debate, chat. Great debate, chat. All right. I think I'm going to get out of here. Actually, I am going to get out of here. Appreciate you guys watching. W debate. Shout out to Myron.
Don't take bad things from this video. Try to learn good thing and apply in your life. And yeah, Kanye promotes hateful things about Jewish. And that is too bad. And as a Muslim, I cannot do that because it goes against our religion. So you cannot spread bad thing about people. Even, he's not in my community. So if anyone does bad thing, you have to condemn as a Muslim. So don't spread the bad or hateful things against other people. Just talk about those things that is a right thing. Yeah, I'm not gonna support Kanye, because I don't follow him, and I don't stand with his ideology. No, I love everyone as a Muslim.